You're listening to the In the Mix podcast with Marvin Joles. Here's your host.
Cam Roberts is our friend from the North and has come on the scene here over the last 5 years or so on social media for sure, being a leader, bringing information and technology, I will say, and as well to what we do here. So he's going to join us today, also host of the Stripe It Like It's Hot podcast, which now, I don't know, people shorten it up. Stripe It podcast, we start to say more than often. And also is owner of Laser Pavement Solutions. I got that right, Cam?
Swish, brother. Swish.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, it's March Madness, right? Swish. It's March Madness. So, yeah, dude, it's so great to have you here. You and I talk a lot, fairly often. We go over ideas fairly often, albeit sometimes in short bursts. But sometimes we'll be on the call for about an hour or so, me and you. It's just a rarity because we're both moving and shaking and doing some things. Ironically, we seem to talk a little in passing over this last time. We were both at a few events, and it seemed like we were able to have some conversations. But the longest ones are over the phone when it's like, hey, here's this huge thing we're going to do. Let's talk about it. The basic stuff, which seems like we got it figured out, because we'll be like, what do you think about this? Oh, that's what I think. All right, cool. Bye. Okay, yeah, bye. And that's that.
Let's clarify. It's Marvin has this huge idea. And then I give my 2 cents and like, that is a great idea. I wish I had more time to help you out because that's a great idea.
Yeah. And then what I result is none of my friends have time to help me out or not doing this.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I fall. I'm just like, well, guess I'll just stay in your lane, Marv. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can't carpool. We can't do anything. No, I don't think this is an uncommon thing, to be honest with you. Look at your social media feeds right now, and you will find a lot of people who are podcasting, who are creating content, short clips with captions on them. And what do these guys do? They're business owners, some successful business owners for the most part. And it just seems to be a common trend. And I'm like, what are we all doing? Well, we all tend to have time and ideas when we're in passing doing our work, because when you're seal coating or line striping, you know the task. You got some hours of doing this job. Your mind starts to wander a little bit. You're like, dude, I could create a course. I could write a book. Dang, dude, I could do all this. I could start another business just doing media because we've done media so good. I'm seeing it all over. And I do have these great ideas, but sometimes I think it's like, yeah, it's a good idea. Is it the one thing I'm going to pursue though? Because the man who chases 2 rabbits catches neither. And we talk about me building something here at BB, which I always reach out to Cam because I'm like, dude, I value your insight and your perspective and the way you look at things. I think what happens is, yes, Asphalt can touch almost everything that any idea that I have, but also there's people that just mill. There's also people who just stripe. There's also people who just sweep. It's like they're really successful at doing the one thing versus doing all the things. So I want to do the one thing really, really well. And then when we have a shot, if it does come to fruition, then we branch out and do the other ideas. But, that's where a lot of my value with you comes from, Cam. I was like, God, the sad part is you and I get to some conversation. We're like, God, it's such a good idea. God, it would be so good. And then we see the huge lift and everything that it would take to do. And we're like, yeah, that's not it.
Yeah, you have forced me a couple of times in the past couple of months to like actually, like, my time management. Let's bring it back a little bit. My time management skills are inherently not good. That's a skill I've been working on year over year over year.
Yours, you should see mine.
Oh, I can only imagine, dude. So you know the struggle. So you have forced me to like really think about like I'm sold on the vision of what Blacktop banner is.
Yep.
How much can I realistically help? That's tough.
Yeah.
Because I would love nothing more than to be really like trying to push the needle with what you're trying to do. Like, so the little bits that I do, it doesn't feel like enough, which I guess in a way is kind of like a healthy tension. Like it never feels like I'm quite doing enough to help out with what BB's doing. But at the same time, I can also realize that, well, I'm doing what I can, and hopefully more time will start to come back where I can actually help with that.
Yeah, you're a football fan. You're a Niners fan, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk about Deion Sanders, which is Coach Prime's everywhere now. But back in the day, Deion played baseball and football, right? And he was good. He was good at both. But when he stopped playing baseball and solely focused on football, he became great at football, like exceptionally great. Started playing both sides of the ball, right? Special teams. That's kind of what I chalk it up to. I think we have a lot of talent in a lot of different areas and some great ideas, and we know we could do things. But are they going to be great things? I don't know. I think, I have that dichotomy with Blacktop Banner and Wiscoat. Sometimes I feel bad for Wiscoat because Wiscoat's like not my favorite child, but still my child, right? Like, oh, you spend all your time going to Blacktop Banner's baseball games. Yeah, you provide them all the coach. They get all the new cleats. They get all the new stuff, right? And I feel bad for Wiscoat sometimes because I actually think Wiscoat probably won't let me down as much as Blacktop Banner will, right? So, yeah, there's a dichotomy there. I actually, I envy you for that, for being like, okay, yes, I would love this, and yes, it's fun, and yes, we have all this stuff over here that we could do. It's exciting. It makes us unique and goes into our creativity space a lot more. But I am building this thing, and this is where my attention is. This is where my time is going to go, is to this thing. I am trying also to be more like that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Even before I had a discount code partnership with Brunt Workwear, which you can find in the description of this podcast, I was wearing their boots when patching or paving and their shirts and hats when I was out on date night with Nikki. I'm actually wearing one right now. Seriously though, half my closet is Brunt Workwear at this point. I have 3 sets of boots, 2 Marins, and a pair of the Omans, as well as a green Chevlin hoodie that I love. It's got a snake on it. It actually has a pocket where it keeps my cell phone there in the front. I love that about it. And it took the place of my winter jacket last season. To check out their full line, go to bruntworkwear.com and use code MJoles10 to save $10 off your first order of $60 or more.
But in the meantime, we're here. We got podcasts where our seasons are really going to get going and humming. And so much so that I asked you earlier if your guys are practicing doing pit crew or what's going on. Dude.
It's so loud out there.
Dude, they're getting with it out there.
So let the record show, I picked this podcast recording date. I could not have picked a worse date. Our studio is not open today, so I couldn't go into the studio. Matt is away anyways at a doctor's appointment, so I don't have that's why my lighting is, I got no lighting in here. Yeah. Lighting is trash. And then it's literally, there's like 8 people in the shop right now, getting rid of all the snow stuff, firing up all the summer stuff. I couldn't have picked the worst day, which is why I'm glad I picked this day.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Stuff's happening like 20 feet away from me. Real time. You
guys are getting it. So, All right, lead us back then, right? There's 8 people in the shop. It wasn't always like that. Back in the day when I first met Cam Roberts online, it was Cam Roberts and a striping machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dial us in. How did you even get into this space and into this realm?
Mm-hmm. Well,
wind it back.
Whoa, boy, wind her back. Okay. Yeah. So
way back. What'd your mom and dad do? What'd your mom and dad do? What were they?
You want to go deep? Yeah, I don't come from this. I don't come from this background. I'm not cut from this cloth of business development, entrepreneurship. It's not me. So my dad was a government dude for like 30 years.
What do you do?
He was in parks. He was a parks guy. Yeah.
That's a cool gig.
It was a cool gig. Yeah. So I was born in the big city. We moved up to the small city because he got transferred up there. And he was like, my memories of my dad were like government job, 8 to 5. He would walk to work, would walk home, solid gig. And because he was a government guy, he's kind of crafty. Like he had a lot of skills. He had construction skills. He had carpentry skills. I never saw them because it just wasn't the world he was in. Right.
Right.
So to this day, he still surprises me like with just random stuff. I'm like, you shouldn't know how to do that. But he actually does know how to do that.
Yeah.
But you know how like a funny little story, like not a story, but like I love the raised on blacktop everything, right?
Yeah.
I love the brand. I love Matt. I love what they're doing. But like that couldn't have been so different for me. I was not raised on tools and pavement. No. I was just a guy doing stuff. So yeah, the journey to get from, not knowing anything about anything to still not really knowing a lot, but advancing this business, I honestly don't even really know how it's all come together. It's just a series of a lot of small things happening, to get it to where it is today. But that being said, I love where it is today. So.
What about your mom? What'd your mom do?
Mom was a mom. Mom was a
Cool.
mom. Yeah.
Cool.
She's crafty. She's super crafty. So my parents are quite a bit older than me. Mom was 39 when she had me. So, a little bit older, a little bit, more laid back.
Yep.
They still did stuff with us as kids, but yeah, Mom was crafty, man. Always making stuff. She had like these weird businesses where she'd like, maybe that's where I get it from. I've never thought about this before, but I think
that's why you're here. This is what I do.
You're like, you just crack it open, eh?
Yeah. I want to figure out what makes you tick and how you got to ticking.
I've literally never thought of this before, but she had a business where you would drop off an old fur coat to our house. So I get these like random middle-aged ladies dropping off, I got this fur coat. She would make it into a teddy bear, like a stuffed 2 foot tall, like teddy bear. It's just a skill she had. And now I think about it.
As why would somebody not have that skill?
I guess. So maybe she's where I get it from. I don't know.
I guarantee you, we fire that business back up as a high-end luxury chinchilla teddy bear.
Yeah, man.
Right? Mink teddy bear.
Yeah.
Dude, this
You're
is dude, I know I'm onto something. This Etsy store is about to be fire. Dude, Ye will be wearing them. Oprah will be wearing them. You'll be holding on to these badass teddy bears. You can make them into backpacks too.
100% you could. The bear's wrapping around your chest. Yep, it's a thing. Yeah, I already see it as well. I see it all.
Yeah, we're done now. We're done doing pavement, podcasting, everything. This is what we're going to do.
That's it. That's it. I bet you that's where I got it from though. So yeah, man.
Cool. So that's where you get some of this stuff from. Did you go to college?
No.
Did you? So what were you interested in that got you into this area?
I didn't finish high school.
Get out. I didn't know that.
I took a GED. I don't know if they got that in the States.
They do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good enough diploma. We call it up here.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So funny story about that. I was 17.
Here's get it done.
Get it done.
No, E-T. Get it done. Yeah.
I just couldn't stand school. I struggled with it. I homeschooled for like 5 years to try and get it done quicker.
Yep.
Petered out by the end. And by the end, I had an opportunity to do some pretty cool volunteer work. But if I was going to do that, I couldn't stay in school and get school done at the same time. So I was like, you know what? The school thing is not my thing.
Did you do the volunteer work then?
Absolutely did. Yeah.
What'd you do?
Bible education.
Get out.
So yeah, I did that. I did that. Oh gosh, how old was I? 18. Yeah. So I was doing that 3 days a week. So I couldn't have a job and do the volunteer work with the Bible education and stay in school. So school was the one I was like, you're out.
School went.
Yeah. I want the job. I want the money. So
cool.
And then I just took some jobs, did some mall maintenance for a while, learned some hands-on skills there. And
so tell us how you get to where you're striping lines. I got to figure out how to bridge the gap here because I've been talking about teddy bears, Parks and Rec, Bible education.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's get to it.
2-minute version. You ready?
Yep.
All right. My first real job, my first full-time real job was working in the maintenance department at a shopping mall.
Okay.
It was a big, the mall was not big. It was small town Canada, but the pavement surface was big. It was 500,000 square feet of pavement. There was nobody in the town to paint parking lot lines except one guy. There was one guy. And the one guy, my boss tried to hire him once and it was not pleasant. And I was only 21, so I was not involved in the hiring this guy, but I saw it from a distance, and it was
3 years
bad.
ago. We're just 3 years ago.
It's oh gosh, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. It was so bad, Marv, that by the time we tried him once, my boss would hire this company from Alberta, like 3 hours away, to come do striping.
Damn.
Just because he's like, I refuse to deal with that guy. So I had that idea at 21. Fast forward to 2018. I chopped my fingers off on a table saw.
Show me.
Yeah. How many people watch on video?
I don't know.
This will be the plug.
I don't care.
So,
As long as one does is all I care.
so like,
Whoa. I never noticed that before.
yeah. So I shortened my thumb.
Yep.
This finger bends this way,
Yep.
but it's actually got like metal pins in it. It does not like do this. I can't do that.
Dude.
And then this one, yeah, this one's got a fake knuckle in it to try and make it bend.
Yep.
She
So
don't
you got
bend.
3 of them? You hit 3 of them?
I hit 3.
These ones.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So that was the day after the Super Bowl. So February 5th, 2018. So
I'm totally glad you showed us and you're not like doing the Michael Jackson thing with just one sequin glove covering it up. It looks awesome.
I don't wear one glove. But in winter when it's like, you know,
You wear 2 gloves?
It's not even cold and I'm
Good
wearing
idea.
gloves because I don't get circulation, right? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm the guy who's like, oh, you're wearing gloves, and it's like, you know.
So did you cut into them or did you cut them off and they put them back on?
They were dangling. Like, so I looked down. I don't know. I didn't even know what happened. I heard the sound. I was like, what was that? And I looked down and I see the inside of my fingers. I didn't even know the tip of my thumb was gone. So yeah, I was in the glass industry. I was working on a table saw, cutting some templates of stuff, and table saw injuries are like A, very common. B, they happen fast.
Dude, totally common. Totally common. I know probably 20 people.
Okay. If you ever join the Stub Club, it's amazing how many people they're like, oh, I've got one of those too.
Dude.
Like Scott Morse, same thing.
Yep.
He's like, wow, bro, look at mine.
I know.
It's like, we got a posse.
I was going to have Scott write some articles for us, but he apparently writes everything shorthand.
Oh, there you go.
Is that bad?
No, that's perfect, bro.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Okay.
He's listening. He'll laugh.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen it a lot, dude. It's a common thing.
Hey, no, I'm not going to get into the real nitty gritty. I'll summarize the 2-minute story. So the 2-minute story in summary was I was off work, injured. Yep. I was a technician, right? I was an installer of commercial glass, commercial aluminum, yada, yada. Massive guilt train. Cratered my mental health in 2018 because I didn't deal with my injury properly. But while I was off work in March with a club on my hand, I was like,
I would never peg you for that. I don't want to cut that off, but you that I know now, I can't imagine that would be something that would just where you would fall into an anxiety or depression about that. Like you now, there's no way if you lob these 3 fingers off, you'd be like, well, we gotta keep going here. Let's keep doing our thing. So
that's the thing. I lopped the fingers off, and my wife, dude, I remember it vividly in the hospital. Like 2 days later, after surgery, yada yada. I'm in Vancouver trying to rehab. Hopefully, gonna keep the fingers that they sewed back on. And she's like, "This is gonna mess you up."
Oh,
and
no, really?
From that moment, it was like, Marv, it was like challenge accepted. I remember telling her, I was like, "No, it's not. Like this, it's my fingers. I really don't care."
Yeah.
And long story short, by the end of 2018, so I started the striping business in 2018 because I was off work injured. I was bored. I was like, hey, there's still only one guy in this town painting parking lots, and he's still the same guy. So ironically, went to my old shopping mall and said, I'm thinking of doing a thing. If I bought this striping machine, if I bought this Graco striping machine, what are the chances you'd hire? And he's like, yep. Just tell me when you get it. We'll be your first customer. I was like, oh,
Get
okay.
out.
So that's how it starts for so many of us, right? You get the one guy who's like, I'll take a chance on you, kid.
Yep.
So that was it. So 2018, I worked full-time at the glass shop. I went back to work like a month and a half later. They put me in this hybrid sales technician role. And then, I was striping evenings and weekends. And that's what cratered my health because I was absolutely working my face off while still being a family guy, while still doing a lot of my volunteer work. And I shouldn't even be here, dude. I collapsed in December 2018. There was a morning in December 2018. I still to this day, I don't even know what happened. All I know is Robin got me to the hospital. And
Exhaustion,
thank goodness. It wasn't even exhaustion. I was like operating
mentally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things were not like I was powering through. And to my wife's credit, like she's going to listen to this because she listens to all my crap and she knows this. We've had many conversations about this, but she basically said like, I'll never leave you ever. like, man, I love her to death. She's the best. We love each other. She's like, I'll never leave you, but like, I wanted to leave you because I saw what you were doing to yourself, and you refused to listen to me. So, yeah,
it's a common thing.
Yeah,
like
bro.
that turning point happens to a lot of people in our industry, and not a lot of people go that route that you went. Like, they get over the hump and then try to dedicate time, and like I'm fell victim to that. Right? I'm just like, dude, I'm capable of this. Pew. There I go. Right?
I think it's even worse for people listening who are like, they're either in business or maybe, I'm going to start a business because I like this Marv guy, and they listen to your podcast and then they hear us talking about it. Yeah, you're going to have to work a lot when you start a business. That's just reality. The balance that we all struggle to find, I think, is more conversation should be had about it, because there's one camp that's like, yep, you have to be prepared for the suck, work your face off, dig deep. You're going to work long days. And part of that is true. Absolutely. But if you don't at least acknowledge the other side, which is you are a human being, many of us do have families and kids. And like, I didn't have the balance in 2018. I was just like, I'm going to throw myself into work and family and my volunteer. I'm going to do it all. And it didn't work.
No, it doesn't, dude. You can do it. Like, you can do. Once you realize you have capabilities, and what happened to me was like, dude, I used to go fishing a lot. I had time to play video games. I read a lot. I try to read still now, which is still tough. And then I had time to hang out, and I was like, dude, I got all this time, and I'm actually talented. I actually can do some shit. All right, I'm going to fill the rest of my time with that, because that's actually productive. And that was my MO for a good 10 years. Right. And then the kids were really young. Kelly and I were fresh married. I'm like, if I put in a good 10 years, we're going to be millionaires. I'm like, oh, I can do the math. I put in a good 10 years, we're going to be millionaires. That's cool. Not so cool. We flash forward a little bit. Let's flash forward 10 years, right, into Marv's life. You're going to share a little bit. You want to share a little bit about some stuff that affected you. It didn't turn out well for Kelly and I. Like, it just didn't. I became somebody who wasn't who she originally was with. And I can't unlearn or unlike who I became if I like that person now, right? I don't want to go back to Marv at 28. He ain't really the kind of guy that I want to hang out with now. I like hanging out with who I am now. But Kelly didn't. So that kind of changed. And it changed because I didn't dial back. I should have just dialed back and focused on that stuff. I focus on it a lot now, which is sad, because Kelly and I live separately. Eli stays with me most of the time, all the time. Liz stays over there. We still get together. We did St. Patrick's Day and did green beer and green non-alcoholic beer, which is kind of fun. I made the corned beef and cabbage. And then we talked about how I'm 17% Irish and Kelly's side is 4% Irish. And I made the kids add those together and divide by 2 so they know what their average is in their bloodline. But like, we still enjoy each other a lot and do a lot of those things, but it didn't bode well. And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, what do I do? Do I say, woe is me? Do we point fingers? Do we do all that? We didn't. But we talk about it as I'm talking about it now, candidly. And it's literally just a thing where like, hey, this happens. You got to be leery of this. Be sure that this is how the route you want to go. We have a good friend, Garen Beard, who's really started to become a good friend of mine as of late.
TCS guy. Let's go.
Yep. And dude, he's single guy, crushing business. He's like, I go all out because I can go all out. I know you guys. I know your guys' life. I couldn't do it if I did what you guys did. Mm-hmm. He's like, my time will come. I'm like, dude, that is the way to do it. Like, just have that knowledge of like, this is the way to do it. If I'm here at this stage, let's not do this. Right. And let's go at it this realm. I would give up all the 10 years of all the money made if I could have what I had in essence still. If I would have known what I know now with the knowledge, I would have went a different route. And, you can't unchange.
I think you're describing awareness as the skill. It sounds like what you're describing. And that is
an awareness.
Wisdom and awareness. Yeah. It's an ongoing thing. I think about awareness a lot. Yeah. Like why do I do the things that I do?
Yeah. Why do I think the way I think, and why do I do the things I do? Yeah. Especially now. Most of it is because of what you had or didn't have in the past experience of your life up to that point. Right. The things I do now is because of a culmination of good and bad experiences I've had up to this point. Now, don't get me wrong, in 10 years, I'm going to look back and be like, dude, you're an idiot.
We probably will, right?
Stuff.
Why did
you
we do it
should
that
have known
way?
this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I mean, that comes into business too. Like you and I, we've been in business now a while. There's shit, like we tell stories when you host BBSG calls for us, which we're grateful for. I do. And we talk to guys a lot. And we're like, yeah, I made some brutal mistakes. Like early on, like, oh, dude, that almost tanked me. We were just having a conversation, Kyla and I, about how I had, and you were part of this with me last year, which I'm thankful for our core group of friends. I relied heavily on our employees, and within 2 weeks, 5 of them were gone.
Yeah.
And then the shit hit the fan. So then we were just talking about, here we go. We're in another year. We're doing hiring process. Looks like we got a crew lead. We got a guy that's going to help with sales a little bit. As Marvin taking them on, putting them in place, paying them full salaries, and then being like, well, see ya, and leaving again. No, you know why? That shit hurt last year. It sucked. Like, you know, I was Cam Roberts 2018 last year, where like I was mentally pressed to the most breaking point I've ever been. Don't want to go through that again. So
there's something you just said that I've also been thinking about a lot, which is, it is amazing to me how you can look back at something you did literally 12 months ago and go, I wish I would have done that better. But 12 months ago, when you were doing it, you're like, this is the best thing I can be doing right now.
1,000%.
Because you make the best decision based on the info you have, based on the situation you're in, based on the person, like, but it's amazing. Sometimes it's like 3 months. Sometimes it's, no time later where you're like, wow, I should have done it differently. So I know what that was in my business last year. Yeah. And now I look back on it, I'm like, I should have done that way differently.
I know. And then we're surrounded by great people. We're really, truly fortunate in our circles to be around great people with great experience, which really helps us out. I don't think there's any problem or any situation we could ever run into because of the network we've built that we wouldn't be able to tackle. But I just got off a call with Walter Kearns, who's going to be our guest and will have been a guest on Blacktop Banner Success Group in April coming up here. But he'll also be on a podcast after this one airs. And literally, we were talking about that, man. He wants me to be on his podcast to talk about how you have to press for failure. Like, he's like, you're not going to grow. You're not going to get what you want from point A to point B and not be pushing for failure. Like, you're going to have to make some mistakes. Otherwise, you're not going to learn how to get there. You don't just, either you know it and you go down that route. I need to hire a sales guy. He's like, but what type of sales guy? What type of experience? What type of inexperience do you want him to have? What's his motivation? What cultures was he at before? Right? All these different variables. He's like, you're going to fail, dude. He's like, yeah. You have to know that you're going to fail and that the possibility is there and go that route. That's how you're going to end up growing. And it's a great concept because it's the only way we can get from where we are to where we want to be. You're going to have to fail. And you look back, you make it through, which that's why I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate that I know if I'm going to screw up, I'm going to be able to pick somebody's brain about how to do it right, or just look at it. Like, I'll call Cam and be like, why can't I see this? Like, why the frig did this happen? Like, what is going on here? It's like, well, you could have looked at it this way. Or what I love is when, like, we get our core group of guys, like there's probably 4 or 5 of us, you included, and we all are on a Zoom call or we're all on like a community call, and none of us have the answer, but we all have the maybe. Like, maybe it's this. Well, maybe it's this. Well, maybe it's this. It's like uncharted territory. That's why I love the conversation we have about BB, all of us, because it's like, I have no friggin' clue what next month holds.
Yeah.
And neither does any of my friends. But
can I tell you something
fun to be hypothetical about it?
Dude, so exactly. Can I tell you something funny? Yes. I'm not going to say who, but one of those 5 people you just mentioned messaged me this morning. This person said, hey, you've been quiet lately. How are you doing? Just checking in with me. Good dude. You'll figure out who it is probably. And I was like, dude, it's been so busy. Last 6 weeks here in this company has been crazy. And I just said, how about you? And his response was the same. I'm trying to learn how to run a business. And I'm like, what? That's what we're doing, man. Like,
I know.
We're just trying to figure it out.
See, I started it out of just proxy kind of early. So this year will be Westcoast's 20th year.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I would say I finally figured it out.
5 years ago, you figured it out?
Yeah, I finally figured out how to run.
Tell me what your it is.
Well, hold on a minute.
Okay.
5 years ago, I
figured.
figured out how to run a business, how to be profitable, how to check all the boxes and do all that. Last year, I figured out that I did not know how to run a business.
Wow.
Right. So you go from this thing where you're like, oh yeah, to all of a sudden like, oh no. Like it reminds me of like, how do I want to put it? It's like you learn to drive and then you're like, yep, I'm going to add a few things to the car here, really get the horsepower up because I know how to drive. And then when you hit it, too much horsepower, you didn't check for your safety. You know, you didn't accommodate for the A-arms needing to be stronger. You stuck her into the wall because you had too much torque and hit it sideways. You didn't have a sway arm. There was none of this stuff, no sway bar. That's literally what it's like. Like, yeah, I guess you could figure it out. The guy renting mopeds here in town out of a little canopy that just sits there all day and rents mopeds. Sure. I guess he's quote unquote figured it out at that level doing that thing. Right. But if the guy wants to end up adding limo service to that, if he wants to figure out how to rent it without him there, to hire people on or open another moped shop 2 towns over, he's opening a whole new can of worms. Just because he figured out the first shop does not mean he knows what it's like to open up this one and how it looks. And that's where I fell victim of like, yep, got it figured out. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. Let me tell you how to be an entrepreneur. Stupid, dude. Last year, I was like, you have the, imposter syndrome, which I hate using them. I hate using buzzwords, dude, in the worst way. But totally last year, I was like, yeah, I don't know shit. I am not the guy to tell you about this. I can tell you what I do know about, but right now it's not this. So I'm not talking. I'm learning with you. I'm going to bring on the guests so that I can learn and you can learn. And I think that's what's beautiful about Blacktop Banner and the process and us documenting it and doing it. But yeah, I agree with you. It's literally, you should be in a state of constant learning. You just should be, and you should accept that that's where you should be, and that's the key. I think that's the key.
I think that's a big part of it too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you have a couple of different aspects to work on that with, because Laser, which I'll say I'm extremely proud of you with Laser. I know I've been able to be kind of in the background, and you share your numbers candidly. We talk about employees. You talk about letting go employees with us within the Blacktop Banner Success Group that you just didn't want to, right? And then we talk about how you adjust and hire different ones to correct the alternative choice that you made the first time, whatever it would be. But then also we got Stripe It, and Stripe It has been getting very well improved. I know you have some help there with your main guy, Matt. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it helps out a lot. And that's one of those things where, yes, you wanted to improve it. And you're like, how do I do this? It's not always like, get a better camera, get a better, you were telling me beforehand, I got that nice sultry voice on the Shure microphone. I didn't know that. Chris knows that, and Chris is like, drink the hottest coffee you can. So it kind of hurts your throat a little bit. That way you have that nice voice when we go out.
Is that the trick?
Oh, no, it's not the trick. Do not do that.
I was going to say I got lukewarm coffee, but
no. But I want you to talk about that a little bit. You can talk about Laser, where you're at and what you do, because it went from laser line striping to Laser Pavement Solutions, which means you're branching a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It started. So that was 2018. Me in a minivan. Literally, it was a Dodge Caravan. I had 2 kids. I had 2 kids, Marv. So we had a Dodge Caravan, which, by the way, is the greatest thing ever. I would go back to a minivan in a second. Those things are awesome. So I would tow this motorcycle trailer behind my minivan because, I didn't have a truck. So just got a little motorcycle trailer, which was enough to fit 1 Graco and 4 pails of paint, which was all I needed. So that was what it was about. It was about, let's make some extra money. Let's stripe parking lots, quit my job the next year. And then it became, now it's not extra money. Now this is the money of how I feed my 4 of us in the family. But it's changed a lot since then. And yes, the company name has changed for sure. So pavement marking, line striping is still, it's going to be the biggest revenue source this year for the summer division. yeah, so we'll do a number of other things, but it's still the biggest one. That's what people know us for. That's what people, and that's what I really love. Like 2 years from now, we'll be doing a lot more other things, but that's what we're known for. And that's why I started Stripe It, man. I love striping. I think that's my thing. So that's the business side. What really jazzes me up though is the people side.
Between Wiscoat, podcasting, writing, speaking, and family, I'm busy. As you can imagine, it's a lot to juggle. How do I do it? I stay organized. Jobber's been my secret weapon at my asphalt business, which takes up most of my time, but is also the force that allows me to do everything else in my schedule. That's why it's essential that Wiscoat runs fluidly and smooth. After making the switch to Jobber a few years ago, I simply wish I would have done it sooner. The process from when a client reaches out to when we complete a project for that customer has never been easier for us. From quoting, invoicing, scheduling, tracking hours, and even marketing, Jobber's made it all happen in one place in a way that everybody on our team can understand. If you're interested in a free 14-day trial of Jobber, an exclusive discount code for In the Mix listeners, check out the show description to find the link to try Jobber today.
I'm all about humans. I just love giving people an opportunity to do stuff in their life that they might not be able to have found somewhere else. So like that's one of my proudest things of this company is like people don't quit. We've had 2 people quit because I put them in very higher positions that they weren't ready for, and I didn't set them up to succeed. So like I own it. Like those 2 people who left us were because I set them up to fail. Other than that, we don't have people quit.
Unknowingly,
I did the best I could in that time. One was in 2021, one was the next year. Both had the same job position.
It's not like you're like, he's going to fail, I'm going to do this.
Nope. And it's brutal in the moment, but yeah, now looking back on it, I made the best possible decision I could, while still realizing that there's definitely things now I could have done better. But people are what motivate me. Like, this is a complicated business, man. Like there's 22 of us on payroll right now, and we're in the snow business as well. Thankfully it's coming to the end, but snow is crazy and it's chaotic and it's demanding, and clients want everything done immediately. And then it freezing rains, and then it snows 6 inches, and then your equipment breaks down, and then your salt supplier isn't his equipment. Like it's crazy. Snow is insane. I don't do it because I love it. I don't love the snow. It's hard to even say this, but I don't even really love the striping. I really enjoy striping. I love being on a striper.
Dude, our friends are going to love that you said that.
I do it because, well, it's 2 things, and we market this pretty heavily. So we have a passion and a mission at this company, a passion and a mission, and they are 2 different things. The passion is improving communities.
Okay.
So we do snow removal. It snows like 90 inches here, 80 to 90 inches a year. It snows a lot. I don't do it because pushing snow is fun. I do it because I believe that Laser Pavement Solutions can improve the community by the way that we do snow removal. Okay. I think we do it differently than everyone else. I think we take a drastically different approach to it. Yeah, you'll see 2 properties with loaders pushing snow. We're operating so differently on those 2 properties, it's not even funny. Like, I am motivated by the fact that when we hire shovelers, we don't just hire people to shovel snow, we hire people to save people's lives. Because if we don't have shovelers on our properties, and Marvin's grandma goes to CVS and we didn't shovel properly, she slips and falls, breaks her hip, and dies. Literally, last week, this is crazy. Last week, there's a tenant at one of the snow properties that we've had under contract for 3 years who's been very demanding tenant. So what he'll do is he expects a really high quality service, and if he doesn't get it, he doesn't go to us, he goes to the property manager, the guy who hired me. And I hate it when tenants do that, because they're just making my property manager's life difficult with complaints, right? Turns out, I just found this out a week ago, one of our sidewalk team members struck up a conversation with this guy. And it turns out that the reason why he's so anal about sidewalks and snow removal is because his mom literally slipped and fell, broke her hip, and died.
Dang.
So snow removal isn't about, like, we make a lot of money, revenue. It's a lot of revenue, man. Like, I feel like we don't even know what we're doing. We crank out hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue in a small market. It's not about the revenue. We're doing something that's going to improve the community.
It's not like somebody clicks an order online, even though we do have friends that do that in some capacity. It's not like they click something, put it in a cart, and it says, thanks, your order's on the way. We have to talk to you. And in order for us to do it well, we have to talk to you a lot. It's like a doctor. You have to go to the doctor. They have to talk to you. They have to ask you a lot of questions in order to help you solve the problem that you have. And I think like that happens with us to where, yes, it's our clients. Yes, it's the people involved. And they're like, well, also it affects this person, so we should talk to this person too. You just end up being you have to end up being a personal person, which I think is to get way away from a question that I wanted to ask you early on when you were talking about window. You did a hybrid sales part. I wanted to ask you if that helped you. You feel like the sales part from your window experience or the glass business versus into having some sales kind of experience when you start doing striping or whatever. But we can talk about that a different day, just you and I. But you end up being a personable person. And I explain to people, like, I feel like I do better now at Wiscote and other places, Dubuque or wherever, in conversation because of Blacktop Banter. I love hearing stories, which is why Blacktop Banter started. And I knew that there were people, if I liked hearing them, that they would love to hear them in the asphalt industry. So I wanted to record them. And I wanted to go back and be able to record them because that's how I absorb knowledge. It's my best way is like, just talk to me and I'll absorb it. You might have to tell me a few times, but I also remember when I'm talking to Cam that Tom Esso said this thing and Cam said something. So I'm like, oh yeah, Tom Esso told me about this. This is what I should tell you about. And then you guys can connect and talk about this. And then I get to hear that story later on of how that connected to whatever. To me, it's like a lifeblood of us not being primal. Like the stories and the words and the interactions, that their stories living in my brain, me being able to speak in those stories living in their brain, and then how we're in common, what we like. Like, you and I are a lot alike. We talk often. I know thousands of people. I don't talk to them as often as I talk to you, but that's because you and I have spoke a lot to where like, oh, we have a lot in common. I can rely on Cam for this. His opinion I value very high, yada, yada, yada. You don't know all those things, and it doesn't allow you to have a lot of value if you don't really dive in. And it's not saying that somebody that I don't connect with at that level isn't valuable. It's just that it doesn't intertwine with my weavings and my DNA and the way I think. And especially in this season, there's some people who I've met a long time ago. And then all of a sudden we started to become friends in a different season, in a different manner because of what I knew when I had these experiences. So for me, it's always been about the people, but it's also in a selfish kind of way because I love the knowledge and experience and the understanding that I get by talking to people of all types, of all sorts, all over. And it's a different thing. Do I want to help them? Yeah. I feel proud when I know that there's my thumb going up. I feel proud when I know that Tom Esso knows something about iPads that Cam doesn't know. And then Cam's like, damn, Marvin had the hookup. What's wrong with me being like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I did have the hookup. It's just awesome. I'm so glad it worked out for everybody. It actually gives me joy, makes me feel good. So I think about that because we both have podcasts. I'm very thankful for Stripe It being associated with Blacktop Banter, but the conversations are completely different. You interview somebody way different than what I do. And that's because we both have different perspectives and different things. I get to listen to yours, and it could be somebody that I interview. You had Kenny on from Oil not too long ago. Your conversation with Kenny was way different than my conversation with Kenny. Totally. I'm like, yes, this is like we're all standing around talking. Yes, this is what I like. You've done a great job with that, I would think. And I think it carried over from Laser to Stripe It. And then I actually think Stripe It benefited Laser in the fact that you've just got better and better at articulation, at conversation. I notice now that your conversations have a purpose when we get into them. They're directed, which to me brings the listeners incredible value. Not to build your head up real big there, but
too late. No, it's
by osmosis and just by practice and you doing it, you get better at it. Yeah. Whether you intend to or not, you get better at it.
Yeah, I just like everything with Stripe It. I just enjoy, and I don't even do. I'm a very self-deprecating person. It's been brought to my attention many times. Like I don't even think I'm that good at it. In the sense of I haven't had the time to really hone in on like, what are we doing with this podcast? Like, I know why I started it. Okay.
Yeah.
I started it because no one else had a striping podcast. I love podcasts. I'm like, hey, let's just put it out there. That's how it started. I don't feel like even now, 3 years later, oh my gosh, 3 years later. Yeah, it's 3 years. I don't feel like I don't do that great of a job with it. Like, but I still enjoy it.
That's because somebody else has a lot of practice in front of you and setting the bar very, very high.
That's it. Oh,
That's gotta be the
yeah, it's 100%. I still remember the message I sent you that when you I almost said rebooted. You had a podcast forever ago, but then when the first Blacktop banner episode came out, I remember where I was. I remember what I was doing. I remember where I was going. I remember what street I was on. I was listening to this and I was like, I gotta tell this guy, keep going. And yeah.
You also challenged me one time though. You asked me why I'm doing it. Like, what is the purpose of this? Because that's a question that you just said. You still are like, what am I doing with this? And I think that is actually what gave. I got asked that a few times. Our friend Daniel Wright asked me that. You asked me that.
It's the most important question you could ask.
Yeah, and I never really thought of it because I just enjoyed it so much. It's like, why do you go fishing? Why do you go for walks? I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you put a purpose to it, all of a sudden you get fit. Yeah, I go from walking to running, right? Yeah. And then now I have a PR. It actually is a mode of self-improvement. And I think that this has been an avenue of self-improvement for me.
I used to be 300 pounds, 297 to be exact. And if you're around me at Asphalt or construction expos or in my circle, you remember that Marvin. I'm not him anymore. I've all but eliminated the choices that got me there in the first place. And I'm down about 100 pounds over the last few years, all from making better choices. I know it's hard in our industry to find time and that those gas station stops are way too convenient, but we in our industry aren't getting enough of what we need to live healthy and stay productive, with those choices being our constant. Besides prepping my own food, I choose foods and supplements from First Form to help me get to where I need to be, along with a regular exercise routine. You've seen my posts over the last few years about using First Form's products to get what I need into my body on the road and keeping out excess of what I don't need or want. I use at least one First Form product every day to ensure I stay on track. I've worked way too hard to let this slip. If you use the link in the episode description, you'll get free shipping on orders over $75 from First Form today. If you reach out to me personally via DM or email, I would love to tell you about what I use and my experiences using First Form's products.
Yeah, it's been fun to see, and it's fun to listen to. It's also fun to watch you share about Laser at the same time. My son Eli follows along with all your stuff. He's a line striping. That's what he wants to do.
I love that guy.
I try like doing whatever, but yeah. So he wants to paint lines, so we're gonna let him do his thing. But he enjoys it, and I think that it also gives people like him, younger, who are being raised on blacktop, not necessarily, hey, we have to pave, we have to seal coat, we have to whatever. They can make this look cool too. That's what you do, and I appreciate it.
Can I tell you a really funny, just random story about Eli?
Yeah.
I probably should tell you this off air, but too late. I started, so
there's nothing that he hasn't said that or done.
No, it's mostly me saying something stupid. Well, I second guessed myself. So what happened was like he started the Instagram, and I was like, bro, like just keep, this is awesome. And then it was like a couple weeks later, he was commenting on some of our stuff, and I was like, man, you should come on my striping podcast. And immediately after the message sent, it dawned on me, I should probably ask his parent before I just.
No, he's fully independent. It's hard. I almost made him move out and get a job the other day.
Oh man, don't do it yet.
What do you say? What do you say back?
Oh, he's on the list. Yeah, it's going to happen. He's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So,
cool. Yeah.
We're going to do
it. Yeah, he's pretty responsible, man. I can't complain. He's coming with us to World of Asphalt. He's very excited about that. He's been making some appearances here and there a little more, but also sticking to his responsibilities as a student, as a wrestler. He's working this summer, obviously. So, I don't have anything to worry about with him. Which is good. Cool. I feel like I'm doing a good job. But.
Can I say one more thing? What is...
Yeah, we're getting close.
I'm on the Pacific. Yeah, it's 10:11 here. I got to dip at like 10:20 at the latest. But back up, what were you talking about? Purpose. Okay, the reason why we do stuff. Okay,
yep.
I think that is the most important question. So
this is going to be your piece of advice too. Everybody gets a piece of advice. This is going to be it. You want to do
like
that?
You're gonna you want me to give the advice? Yeah. Okay. I think there'll be advice in here. Absolutely, cool. It will work 100%. So, and this is going to sound pretentious, and I really don't mean it pretentious, but. Back in 2020, when Laser started to like grow, started hiring my first person, my second person, you know, things are like starting to get going. There was like 3 or 4 of us in 2020. And then we got to 2021 and it was like, yeah, we started the season with like 4 people. Had I kept the company at that size, 4 people, I now can look back on that. I didn't know this back then, but I can look back on it now and have a clear business plan, a clear P&L. Like Cam would be making so much more money. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Like we wouldn't be doing the revenue we're doing, but the margins we would annihilate. If there was 3 or 4 of us, and I've told that story or I've relayed that message in our team meetings more than once. So I don't want to like harp on it, but people have heard me say this more than once. Like, look, if it was about the money, I wouldn't have got the shop. I wouldn't have got the office. I wouldn't have bought the second trailer. I wouldn't have got, you know, the third piece of striping equipment. It would have been no shop, 1 truck, 1 trailer, 2 pieces of striping equipment, 2 or 3 of us in the field. And it would have been this well-oiled machine. And like, I would be taking home way more money. I've reverse engineered it, Marvin. It's probably around 250,000 bucks a year, which is pretty good for me. I would love that.
Yep.
I don't make anywhere near that now. Not even close. Like, and so the message that I've been consistently telling our people is the why. Like, why are we doing this? Why am I doing this? Because I sure ain't doing it to chase revenue, because I don't actually make much money. Cam doesn't make much money when we chase revenue, at least not at this point. We're doing this because I get no greater enjoyment in life than onboarding someone who fills out an onboarding form that says, one day I'd like to own a house. And then that immediately starts the conversation with that person. How can Laser be the vehicle for you to get to where you want to go? How does this job get you the house? And that's the why.
Yeah.
That is the why.
Yeah. I had that zone where you're talking about, I made some money and then bought a house, bought a vehicle. We went on tons of vacations, ate great food, bought all the designer, whatever we wanted to do. That lasted for about a couple of years. And then I was like, yeah, this isn't it. There's got to be more. And now I chase them more. And money doesn't have a lot to do with how I purchase it, but it does have a lot to do with how it provides those feelings for me. And that's through what we provide and what we do for the people close to us that are jumping into our vehicles, whether it's Laser or Wiscoat or BB or whatever, and makes it happen. I agree. Totally agree. That's a good piece. Where can we find you? Where can people follow along?
The internet.
Yeah, I know.
So I post a lot on LinkedIn. So if you want to like the internet, I'm on LinkedIn a lot. Yeah, that'd be a good place to find me. Or just shoot me a Facebook Messenger. I don't post on Facebook much.
Stripe It's on Instagram.
Stripe It is on the gram. We post very consistently on there, and YouTube. So it's not just the podcast. The weekly podcast episode goes out kind of similar to this one, video format. But we also post like those 4 to 5 minute. I'm not going to tell you the word of what we call it internally, but there's like educational videos, 4 to 5 minutes that we post once a week about striping business development. So go on YouTube, Instagram. I don't know. Just you'll find it. Search, you'll find me.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, in anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find Stripe It Like It's Hot podcast. And you can find them on Blacktop Banner. We share Stripe It podcast stuff quite a bit and Cam stuff quite a bit on there. Hop over on the blacktopbanter.com and you can find a drop-down menu there with a link to the Blacktop Banner Success Group. Just click Success Group and you'll find it there. There's a group of about 30 or so of us there. A lot of calls, 24/7 chat group, vendor discounts, meetups, Google Drives. Cam's put some stuff in there. We've got people putting stuff in there all the time now that we're creating a massive network. Also, a newsletter sign up there with articles written by contractors for contractors. Cam writes an article for us there every quarter. And words from our sponsors are in there as well. Please hop over to missionimpact.com. Mission Impact is a nonprofit in Guatemala that provides fuel-efficient stoves, clean water, and custom-built wheelchairs to people who may not have access to those in Guatemala. It's near and dear to my heart. By the time you listen to this, Elizabeth, my daughter, and I will have went there for 10 days over the summer months. So I know where it's going. I know what you're giving to, and yours truly is helping put that into action down in Guatemala. Check out Blacktop Banner anywhere on the internet, as Cam would say. It's on the internet. Anywhere you type Blacktop Banner, you're going to find it out. Cam, thanks for joining us, man. It was a great conversation. Thanks for sharing your backstory and showing us your hand. talking about your mind, sharing some stuff about you and Robin and your beautiful family. It has been a pleasure to have you in my life, and I'm thankful that we got many more years of that.
Pleasure's mine, brother. Thank you.
All right, man. We're going to see you soon. For myself here in the Blacktop Banner studio and for Cam Roberts, peace.